All right. What's up, folks? And yet again, wasn't cold during the day, and now it's supposed to get freezing. Just awesome. Oh, so it's already kind of cold. But yeah, I can tell it's going to get cold. Oh, all right, let me get over here. Yeah, man. Batman is a real thing. Batman transcends. Oh, there we go. I knew it was coming. Batman transcends time and space. It's a fact. See, the thing is, you folks don't have no belief or faith in anything. You don't know how to believe. That's half y'all's problem. All right. See, me, I believe in love. I believe in God. I believe all this stuff because it all makes perfect sense. I know mermaids exist. I know vampires exist. You understand? For a fact. I know reptilians exist. I know all this stuff is real. Why do you think they have so many stories about it? Something else I found out, the I already know the Pleiadians are real, right? And I don't know, they were saying something about like basically just what's really going on, which all has to do with like the electromagnetic field and the wave of consciousness and the vibrational frequency of like Earth. That's what all this is about. I guarantee the Pleiadians are paying attention. The Galactic Council is real. And to think that these things aren't real, okay, sure. Then where did they get all the stories from? And they ask you the same exact question in every depiction about everything, and y'all still can't figure it out. 1 second. And I love how indecisive these folks are. It's hilarious. Like, it's not that difficult to make a decision and make up your mind. But yeah, man, like I said, we'll see how I feel tomorrow, what's going on. I sure hope it gets warmer. I hope it warms up tomorrow. And you should hope for the same because that'll have me where I can at least try to get going. But like this cold, like it just makes me want to take time off. It really does. You know what I mean? Like it's with the bat suits too. Like what am I gonna do? I'm gonna try to wear the motorcycle jacket over it, I guess. I mean under, and then put the bulletproof vest over that. But other than that, it's just my Under Armour and the armor. Like I could do it. I'm built to do it. Built to pretty much handle anything, but it's just hard. It's cold, man. It's getting cold out here this year. Ain't no joke. If you notice, the weather's changing everywhere, and I keep trying to explain this to you. It's all controlled and manipulated, brother. Stop being naive. But another thing, right? I heard one of them leaders of another country a long time ago, back in the day, he was talking about that they're all up in New York. So I already know all this stuff is up in New York. All this evil stuff, it's in New York. That's where all these little offhand groups, these underground illegal organizations, all right, that I've been paying attention to and focusing on and really bringing all the evidence forth publicly for, they're all in New York. New York has been, I think, a breeding ground for that stuff, 100%. So that's why we're going to have to go up there. Batman going to be in New York, believe that. Working. And that's what these folks don't do. The FBI, the CIA, the feds, all of them, they like to surveil. I think finally they're getting around to it, hopefully. But I ain't even seeing any evidence of that. I mean, they're supposed to make actual arrests. I mean, if not, the problem is not being solved. It's just continuing on. So, I mean, let me see. So, yeah, like I said, we going to keep on moving forward. We going to keep on doing what we do. And it's just that simple. And like I said, we're building a team of support here. All the people who actually want to donate, all the people who support me, truly, all the people who want to see me win. And that's it. We're going to keep moving forward and making it do what it do, baby. That's right. Making it do what it do. Feel me? So, yeah. I just heard some kind of animal or something scurrying around. But yeah, all this stuff is based in New York, man. It's all in New York. You understand? So we got to go up to New York. We got to go up there, and it's just that simple. Here, give me a second real quick. All right, we're still going. So yeah, yes, the weather is 100% being controlled and manipulated, as well as all of you. That's the problem people don't get. And that's what I was talking about. It's something I just stumbled across, and I've been doing a lot of research. But the Pleiadians call themselves like the light, something like the light beings or something, which is a lot kind of like what I am. I have a lot in common. I don't know if I come from that, but they said I was one of the original creator beings of Elohim or something like that, which I think is like the tribe, the 7 or 12 tribes of Israel. I come from the lineage of Jesus. That's why I look the way I do. I'm the lineage of Jesus Christ. That's what these people don't get. So why do you think these folks, these groups that, they surely aren't about love? Thank you. They're surely not about love, these groups. Right. They're not the Care Bears. They're more like the woodland Christmas critters in South Park. That was what happened the first time I saw them on here. It was a bunch of so-called women and females, and me being all innocent and nice like I am, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it, I was like, oh, they're so cute. They look all cute and cuddly. Look at them. And they're just like the woodland Christmas critters. Y'all have seen that in South Park? When they hear the intercom and they're all like, well, it looks like a squirrel and a bear. And then all of a sudden, it's just, ah! Yeah, that's exactly how they are. Yeah, they look nice. They ain't nice at all. Okay? These woodland Christmas critters are not playing. Trust me. Okay? I'm for real. Okay? If y'all ain't figured out, man, that these groups like the cartel and all these illegal organizations that are not just here, they're everywhere. They're all over the U.S. Okay? And this is the only reason why I brought up that, what they ought to do is just give me a career being a U.S. Marshal, because it's what I'm made to do, but I just want to do mostly like the clerical work. And I think you can't do that. You got to go out in the field. I don't want to do that. I'm not scared. It's just pointless. I don't want to be in that position for no reason. I get enough action with what I do. I'm going to be doing, all I do is the real thing. So it's pretty much identical. But if I'm going to do that, I'd rather do it off my own interest, Real talk. I ain't trying to work for no company and commission and do that for other people. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, those are all the type of situations I'm going to be in anyway as Batman. So I might as well be licensed and independent. You know what I'm saying? Sovereign. That's the way to go, truly. If I'm going to be in situations like that, I want to do it for me, not for other people. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way everybody should be. Thank you, Trina. But yeah, like I said, all this stuff is real. What I was saying, if you think that they're cartel, I mean, they've been caught 8 million times, first of all, over here even. But what they've also been caught doing is they like to use people and take advantage. And they use people that are easy on the eyes. So they'll use like a soccer mom, right? And that soccer mom will be utilized and used for a network distribution of drugs through this country. They caught one, it was like maybe a few years ago, in one of these, like, it's always like Denver, Colorado, or one of their mecca cities. I can't remember where she was located, somewhere up north. But this is what they do. And this stuff, these underground illegal organizations are doing trafficking every day. Okay? It's like he says in A Man Apart when he tells them, what, you think you're crossing them over because hold up. He said, you think you crossing them over? I'm a lot like that guy. Vin Diesel in that movie, A Man Apart. Said, you think you crossing them over because you got that played out platinum? Right? He says, back in my day, right? And then he tells them, he says, the real ones, they don't move this and that. In other words, little weight. You know what I mean? He says, he's like 800 or whatever, like 18 kilo, you know what I mean? Like, metric tons a month, you know what I mean? And it's the truth. The real ones, these illegal organizations are all around us. They're out here. They're up in New York. They have a network running through these states. Okay. I don't care how anybody feels about it. That's what I'm focused on. That's what I'm focused on. And that's my interest, is making sure that I get all this stuff stopped 100%. I put illegal organizations out of business. I am the best in the business and the best in the game. And I am nothing but a regular civilian. That's right. Making me the most powerful man in the world. And I'm really good at what I do. So like I said, folks got to understand, can't tell me nothing, can't stop nothing. Batman, the world's greatest detective. I look into everything. You understand? I figure it out. And then Batman, like I said, is going to be showing up on these different street corners and blocks across the country and going to work on those blocks. And what do you think our interest is? Our interest is to stop evil. Our interest, 100%, is to stop trafficking of all kinds. Our interest is to protect humans, to protect people, and nobody can have a reservation or say anything about that, because it needs to happen. Because the truth is, if we don't stand up, nobody will. And it's just that simple. Like I said, I don't do what the FBI does, which is surveil criminals forever and surveil gang activity and watch the gang members continue to do what they're doing in these neighborhoods. You send Batman out to the neighborhood, Batman is going to make sure that all the gang members have to pack it up and leave. Now tell me if we don't need that. Batman ain't gonna play on these blocks. Batman coming through hard body. I'm not playing. You understand? I'm just like you, criminals, and I'm not playing at all. You feel me? And that's the difference. And you need someone like me who's got the courage to stand up and do what he's doing, straight up. Too much sugarcoating and playing around. You depend on these agencies, they will never get anything done. They will sit there and paint it like it's cute. Their job is to sit there and play teddy bear. And that's not what we do or what I do. And see, that's why we're a lot different, brother. Hi there. How are you? How you doing? I was trying to ask you last time you were over here. Yep, there they are again. They're nonsense, acting like they can't drive. Probably the same jellyfish. 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 That's how scared I am. Batman starts singing to you. Jellyfish. You're jelly. You're the hokey pokey. Jellyfish. Oh, jelly. Super jelly on me. So yeah, I was trying to ask you last time you were over here. uh, Susie Q, Susie Q, oh Susie Q, Susie Q. Oh, for real. Uh, but yeah, I was trying to ask you if you were like, if you were in Brownsville or what. I know you said you were visiting, or if you were like in Houston or something. You don't have to say. I was just curious. All right, moving forward. Right. That's what we need in these communities and neighborhoods. We need a man that is going to get the job done. It's that simple. We do. We need a man who's going to actually do what needs to be done the right way, but to get the job done. Because if not, like I said, these agencies will do nothing but sit there and surveil. They got a technical term for everything and a technicality. They great when it comes to nonsense and worrying about regular citizens like you and I, right? And what we're doing and making up stuff and lying, right? But they when it comes to actually doing their job description, that they're not exactly the best. Let's get real. I mean, so I'm not here to explain people what their job is. Like I said, clearly everything happens for a reason. So the lack of know-how in this country, because this is all over the country. I'm talking about everywhere. Okay. I'm not talking about anyone in particular. I'm talking about everybody. So, you know, the lack of know-how was clearly for a reason because it gave me a full-fledged career and I gained more leadership and more power and more control every day. And people look up to me. So people really coming to me for the answers and know that I'm protecting them, and I mean, that's cool. And I got whole families walking up and saying, thank you for protecting us. Come on, man. I mean, you can't get no better than that. You know what I mean? Oh, that's cool. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. Good answer. That's what you do on here. You should always, answer the right way with as little detail as possible. Exactly. But yeah, no, I was just curious. But yeah, like I said, I mean, we gonna be up that way too. We gonna be all through Houston, Dallas, Austin at some point. I'm hoping maybe Katy, Texas. We're gonna see what happens, man. I'm just being patient, bro. You know what I mean? I don't know how the money's gonna come. I have no idea how any of this is gonna happen. But again, it's not my plan. It's God's plan. So, you know, I believe and know that God will make it happen. Right now, like I said, I need financial support majorly. Nobody's doing anything for me, and that's my thing. I knew everybody was gonna do this. And it's really tough, man. It's just tough. I mean, I was around like $500, right? I was around 550. Paid the phone bill, had to get through this time. I'm already down under like 396, like 390. That's a huge problem, bro. That's a huge problem for me. You understand? And that's what I was trying to avoid because these people down here, they'll just let me go right back to nothing again. You know what I mean? While they sitting there whining and complaining about, oh, he's asking for money. Well, what else am I going to do? Y'all got me down here, right? And you won't let me work. So, you know what I mean? Appreciate it. So, I mean, that's the point. Like, it's just trying to get by in the meanwhile. So yeah, if y'all can really donate, show support. We haven't had actual donations in a long time. Nothing. We received zero support. Okay. Like I said, ain't nobody giving me no money right now or anything out here. I do appreciate Trina super chatted $4 the other day. Thank you. And I think something before that. But overall, most of these folks ain't done nothing for me. So it's like, it's just hard when you're surrounded by enemies and you're trying to build something. And it's just crazy because I'm who's protecting all these people. But there's just a lack of appreciation and gratefulness, and that's the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat and lie to y'all. I'm going to tell you the truth of what the situation is and what it is. I came up against a lot of jealousy when that doesn't even make sense, because that shouldn't be what's happening. I'm sitting here protecting the same people who jelly at me. Like, what? That was my thing with civilians. We never waste our time, bro. You're a civilian, bro. Like, folks just need to learn who they talking to. I'm the boss, and that's it. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing, bro. People got to understand who your enemy is. It ain't me. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, my attitude is very simple, man. It's just like, the more the merrier. It's like 50 Cent said, you know, like, I go out my way not to have problems. I don't want problems, but when people say they want problems, I say no problem. Capiche? Because I mean, everybody who's tried that, like I said, has lost to me, and I mean really lost. You know what I mean? Completely. So that's what people don't get. Like, it's all a decision with me. If people, want to act, no problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's whatever with me, homie. I do this for real. You know what I mean? Oh, don't even acknowledge those people. Don't worry about that. See, I don't know why they do that. Don't acknowledge that. Let's go ahead and delete that. Nope. I'm in charge of this chat, and I gear my own content. Yep. That's what we don't do here. So, like I said, why would you spend your time acknowledging something that you could see as a joke? Well, why? In a professional environment. So, like I said, this is a 5-star company, 5-star business, right? I am who gears my own content. I make all decisions. Everybody will follow my rules in the chat, right? And it's that simple. So, I tell you one time. If you don't want to listen, no problem. You understand? So, like I said, you have been told. So again, we don't acknowledge folks who don't have any part of anything, don't have an identity, don't have an opinion. We don't do that here. All right. Thank you. I don't need any of that. I'm good. I'm a grown man, you know what I mean? But I appreciate it. But yeah, let me handle my own business. I don't have nothing going on. I'm good. And again, we do not acknowledge nonsense. Okay. So that's my point. People got to learn, just like all these people who don't want to do their job need to learn. You don't acknowledge delusion, you move forward in reality. And people who clearly aren't making sense, why would you listen to them? You see my point? It's very simplistic. So yeah, no, I don't need any of that. I'm good. What I need is people to financially support me. So again, that's all we're here for, to make money. If y'all pay me and give me money, then I'm able to do what I need to do. You understand? I mean, as far as standing up, I already have defeated everybody. So that's what I'm saying. Folks who were defeated 20 years ago, why would we acknowledge when they don't have a voice? You understand? You have to have a seat at the table, and then folks can't sit at my table. matter of fact, they don't even own a table to sit at. They have to go to rent a center just so they can rent a table. That's my point. Can you imagine acknowledging someone who can't afford a hot dog? Come on, bro. Let's get real. No more of that. Super poor people. You're good. I appreciate it. Thank you. And it ain't nothing like that. It's just, you know what I mean? We got to move forward. We're going to do things right here. So, like I said, that's it. Getting in here, it's going to be like a select group. You know what I mean? You get into the select group, and that's it. And you're a part of it, and you're good. All the other folks, they don't get a voice. They don't get to talk to me. They don't get a comment. They don't get to say nothing. Leave them in their feelings and let them mope and be sad because I'm succeeding and they're all failing. That's the way of the world. So, like I said, I mean, moving forward, I'm transcending space and time, man. You know what I mean? I'm transcending space and time. It's all 100% real. It's all going great. I think I'm gonna go for a walk with y'all too, cause I got time. I didn't have time the other day, cuz, but today I got time, cuz. I got time today, cuz. So we'll go for a walk, a little walkie walk, because I'm the king and I can. You understand? Oh, I love it. But yeah, that's my whole point. All you gonna get from folks like that is a bunch of pretending. You understand? Like, you got to choose what you pay attention to. You know what I mean? My energy ain't free. It's just that simple. My time is precious. My energy is precious, and it ain't free. You know what I mean? So, like I said, getting back to topic, yeah, if you think that, these organizations, these illegal organizations are not doing what they're doing all over the country and the world, of course they are. I mean, and they work with the system. The prison industrial complex is a part of all this. I don't care what anyone says. They can lie to you all they want. Okay. If the prison industrial complex and the judges weren't bought out and they weren't all corrupt for the most part, right? If not all of them, right? I think the whole system is corrupt. I have no faith in the system. It's a broken system. It's nothing personal. It's just from experience. I understand the truth. It's very obvious. You can see 8 million examples of the same story over and over again. I mean, you'd be silly to not learn when you're being shown what it is. You'd be naive, right? So let's talk about it, right? You have criminals that commit some of the craziest, most heinous crimes in the universe. What does the system do, right? Does absolutely nothing, right? And literally allows them to pretend, allows them all to bail out. I just saw a post recently about one, and it's good to spread awareness about that stuff. But awareness and making a change and making sure that something is done about it are two totally different things. And then that's the problem. You have a bunch of people who feel powerless, and then you have people who are devoid of knowledge. Like and people don't know what to do or how to react. But the main consensus is we all want to change. It's just like here, people are corrupt. We know people are corrupt. Like I said, one of them, they said that he was a sheriff, and they said that he got caught in corruption, and now he's turning around and he wants to be a judge. And they got posters where I think they like try to make him look like the Joker, and he does kind of look like the Joker. It's kind of funny. I'm going to talk about everybody and everybody. I don't care who you are. Understand that. Okay. And I'm not afraid of anyone, and I'm for sure not afraid of any corruption or this little, itty bitty small whack system down here. It's a joke. Okay. So, like I said, with me, I mean, it's whatever. I'll talk about everybody. Like I said, I 100%, if anybody says anything to me I don't like, I 100% will go public and call them out publicly. You understand? So I'm a grown man. So keep that in mind. I'm not these other people. You understand? I'm not hiding from nothing and nobody. I come out here every day, hard body. And like I said, I mean, I'm the real thing. Getting back to topic, right? Like I said, homeboy was already found in corruption, they said, and I guess they kicked him out, right? And he was like a sheriff or something. Now he wants to be a judge, they're saying. And they're all laughing about it. But see, that's the problem. Then you got the same people who corrupt and part of the network, right? And that network is a lot of people who just came up here. Like I said, the main names, right, in the valley, right, are Garcia, Elizondo, who else? And I don't know. That's really about it. You know what I mean? Like, the other one I'm gonna leave out of it because, like I said, I already saw one of them and said hi, and like we're good. And like, I mean, I don't really, know or see their involvement in any of this at this point. You know what I mean? So, I mean, my point is, you have to pay attention to what's actually going on, and that's what's going on. That's what the cartel does. The cartel, okay, it's just like these organizations, the illegal organizations online. Who do they focus on and who do they target? I shouldn't have to answer it for you. It's very clear. It's just like that one dude, like I told you, that had that fake channel about the Southeast Texas, and he poses like he catches what's, but secretly he is that. And I know it for a fact because it's obvious. You understand? So that's what I'm saying. That's what evil does. Evil tries to paint themselves like they're the good guy while pointing the finger at the good people. That's what happened with Cyrax. Cyrax was just a situation where Cyrax is innocent. He hasn't done anything wrong, and I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of people thinking that anyone has an opinion or can sway me or with fake money or future faking or anything. Nobody dictates my opinions. Cyrax is completely innocent. It's just that simple. Okay. All that other stuff, that's just corny stuff and it's fake and it doesn't exist. Just like everything narcs do. It does not exist, any of it. And like I said, um, I'm going to be helping Cyrax. I'm going to be helping everybody the right way and bringing awareness. And if we can get the money up, I could be able to pay for legal counsel for them and be around to try to halfway represent them in court. Okay. But the point is, homeboy hasn't done anything really wrong. You know what I mean? You could say whatever, but like I said, all the stuff that people were doing was fake. So he hasn't actually done anything wrong. So you have no right to attach a label or spread misinformation. That's slander and libel. You're not allowed to call someone something that they're not. It's just very simple, especially if they're trying to have a public image and everything we do is based off a public image. It's the exact same thing as if somebody did that with me. You can 100% take that to court, but it would be a waste of time probably because it's a civil matter, I'm sure, and it's all fake anyway. So what I did is I fell back. I said, I'm going to skip all the court stuff and all the nonsense because this system's a joke and they're corrupt anyway. So they don't serve justice. They serve injustice, correct? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together my federal lawsuit and get all the information involved, right? Put it out public, present it public while I'm in the street defeating the cartel, which I already did before I ever put on a bat suit several times. The cartel shutting down their illegal operations in my sleep easily because I'm the guy who's in the street who can, is in different situations. And it's a small world. Cartel is everywhere down here. You got tons of people. You got people the cartel is constantly trying to recruit. So it's not far from home for us. That's what people don't get. It's not like some special situation. It's just what it is. It's just me living my life. You understand? And that's the thing. They want to paint it and depict it some other way, just like they do on the news. Just like they say, oh, the military's cracking down. The military is going to do this and that about the cartel and blah, 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 right? But the reality, right? The actual reality is that the man who actually shuts down their illegal operations and they're all scared of is Batman right here. So just like they depicted it, when he's like, I know why you choose to have your meetings in broad daylight. I know why what is it? I know why you choose to have your meetings in broad daylight. I know why you're afraid to go out at night. The Batman. And guess who the Batman is? Me. And it's all real. And it's right here. This is why God put me here. Because, God wanted me to start out by coming up against the cartel and shutting them down as I have. Please give me a round of applause. He wanted me to experience the real thing, which I did this entire time on different levels. I've shut down repeated illegal organizations. I've come up against gangs repeatedly. I've come up against all of them groups repeatedly and won. I've never lost. For real. You understand? So, like I said, that's the difference is that, all the organizations, they just sit there and do nothing. And Batman came up having to go back and forth. And it was never a back and forth. But, I'm in the street. I'm at a street level. So I'm moving around hard body doing the real thing. We put working in the street. So I was defeating cartel and all these organizations in the street. It's just the truth. You know what I mean? So you see the difference there? An organization, anyone, they don't really have that power. They can't do that. So it gives me a lot more power. You understand? It also makes me very feared and respected in all reality, right? So like I said, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm the guy. The military didn't do anything. They still have it. And they never will. What are they going to do? What, regarding the cartel? The military? Please. Got to be kidding me. Military is not trained well enough. And I'm not giving the cartel any more credit than they deserve. I'm just saying that the military has never been well trained. They never won. They didn't win in Iraq. They didn't win in Afghanistan. And that's what I was talking about. The stuff I'm talking about is regarding Iraq and Afghanistan. The guy, the main guy, right, who talked about that stuff, you should be able to know his name. You could type it in the chat. Does somebody want to type the name of the guy in the chat who said that these groups, we know what we're talking about, right? We have to watch how we word things on here because there's rules. That's all. So the guy, somebody name the name. It starts with a G. You could type it in the chat. He spoke and they asked him and questioned him. They said, so you think what you know who, right? The guy who his name is very close to Obama, right? They said, you think what he did there was nothing wrong with? And they said he was quoted as he dispatched the you know what's when all this stuff happened in this country, right? To create fear. And he was saying, I don't know, he said basically he tried to act like he didn't have anything to do with it. But I don't know about that. But you know, to me, that dude was a CIA agent. That's number one, right? Probably, yes. Again, let's keep personal stuff out of my chat. Thank you. Again, I shut down illegal organizations for a living. Okay. So, you know, let's make sure that we're making sense. You see my point? You see why people typing stuff could put me in a weird position? You know what I mean? So, but hi there. If I know you or I met you, you're more than welcome in the chat. You can type something else. All right. You are not blocked. You can talk. And how are you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. So carrying on with the conversation, what the guy said, okay, the man whose name starts with a G. Cool, cool. How are you? How are you doing? That I saw you today. Cool. But yeah, if anyone sees me, don't say where you saw me on here. Don't do that. Like I said, my whereabouts is not nobody's business. You understand? So, like I said, the guy whose name starts with the letter G, he said that the groups are up in New York, which I already know because that's how you get all these little derivatives. He said they were trained in New York, right? Yes, I was. Again, you just did it again. So you got one more time and your account's going to be blocked. You understand? I don't know what you're saying today because I wasn't over there today. So I don't know what you're talking about. But again, I've just instructed you. So it's very simple. So again, I'm trying to speak here. Thank you. So again, the man whose name starts with the letter G, right? He said that these groups are in New York. He said that they trained in New York. You understand? And see, that's my whole thing. Like with the public down here and the public in general, you know, they doing all sorts of stuff, making memes of me dancing with AI and all this stuff. I mean, yeah, all that stuff's cute. It's all part of the plan. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, I always dress good. I've always dressed nice. You know what I mean? So, again, I mean, who are you? You know? So, like I was saying, right now we're talking about the topic. Let's make sure we stay on topic, right? But yeah, he said they're all up in New York. You understand? Like all of them, all those groups. And I know they are. That's where all the derivatives in New York come from. That's how you get these people doing what they doing online. And like I said, what do all the corrupt do for them? They cover for them. They protect them. 100%. They make every excuse in the book for these people. Why? Because it's a network across this country. Like I said, half these folks wouldn't even have homes if it wasn't for all the trafficking being done. You're not fooling me. You're not fooling anybody. All these folks out here corrupt. Only difference is I got the courage to tell you in front of you to your face. I'm here because God put me here. You understand? Understand that. You understand? And I love where I'm at. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? But I'm here because God put me here. I always get put in the wrong place at the wrong time or right place at the right time. You know what I mean? You know, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Oh, it's a quote. It's just a quote. Joker quote. I know why you choose to have your meetings in broad daylight. I know why you're afraid to go out at night. The Batman. I'm just saying it's 100% real in front of your face. I mean, how much more vividly can I explain it? Except it's dealing with the cartel and all these different illegal organizations. That's who I came up against. That's who I defeated. The real thing. You understand? I have no reservations about it. It was easy, actually. So that's my point. Like, I'm a real person. I have a real name. This was never for the internet. Y'all lucky to even be talking to me and seeing me. You understand? I'm a street dude. I'm a legend. I'm a monster. You understand? Y'all getting to see any of this? Consider yourself lucky because this is a real story. That's what I'm saying. God put me here for a reason so I could come up against them and win. And so it would prepare me because we had a bunch of interactions before any of y'all even knew my name. Back in the day, there was a whole bunch of real stuff going on. Feel me? So, like I said, over here, we don't talk. You know what I mean? We don't run our mouth. It's the real thing. You know what I mean? And people respect it because they know it's real. You know what I mean? So for me, like I said, like you got to wake up, bro. Them groups is all in New York. We go into New York. The difference is when we go to New York, I'm gonna be going to work on them blocks. Like I'm gonna study who's who. I got to figure out who's who, what's going on. Batman, the world's greatest detective. I'm not going out in them blocks to play. I'm coming to New York to change everything. I'll restructure everything. I'll change everything in the street. It's gonna take me, you hear the dogs. It's gonna take me going through a lot, dealing with a lot. I'm gonna be at a street level. All the dudes in New York that think they tough, all the wannabe gangsters and wannabe thugs, right? I'm gonna be out in the street, right in front of them, in a whole bulletproof bat suit, just like we do down here. You know what I mean? But the suit's gonna be even better. That's the thing. I'm guessing it's gonna look a lot like the depiction of it because there must be a reason for it, right? Why it looks like that? Because that's obviously what the suit ends up looking like. Because I'm the prophecy. So that's my thing. The public, they not awake enough to even catch up. What I'm doing has to do with vibrational frequencies. What I'm doing is helping the entire world. I'm saving the world. I'm changing the vibration and frequency of the world. That's what I was trying to explain to you. The Pleiadians were talking about that, right? About the fact, is there a reason for this? They were talking about the fact, right, that, how do I put it? How do I explain it to you? Basically, there's like an energy field, right? And people, they keep everybody's vibrational frequency down, right? So that you don't know, you know what I'm saying? You don't know that you're in a prison, basically. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. That's all it's about. But yeah, that's the problem. Folks in the public, yeah, they have no idea. They have no idea who I am. They have no idea how much power I have. They don't understand. It's just like he said. They said Frank Lucas is the most you know what man walking the streets. That's what Tyree Sneed is. That's why it trips me out when people even come near me at all. You understand? Because you don't know me. You don't know anything about me. You understand? But like I said, the public, they're all brainwashed. They think everything is playtime. Real talk. They think everything's a game. They think everything is playtime. And no matter how many, times that you see that it's not, right? People still want to pretend. Real talk. It don't matter how many examples you set, right? I've set 8 million of them, like real talk, like real stuff. It don't matter. People still going to sit there and play. Still, people going to still pretend they don't know or don't know what's up, but they do. You understand my point? Like all that playing around stuff, I don't do that. I don't even let that in my energy because I'm not a time kind of dude. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I said, like, you know, everybody talks. You know what I mean? The valley stuff, like with the fame and stuff, it's all cool. I treat it like what it is. It is what it is. I'll try to enjoy it. There's only so much I could tolerate of it. You know what I mean? Because I'm really bad, man. This is a real thing, and I do very serious things and tough things. You understand? There's nothing playing about me. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I'm not going to type his name, but somebody can. Do you work there, or are you just someone who, like, he's claiming he saw me? I don't want to talk about any locations or places, but like, are you the one that worked there, or what? You could just say yes or no. That would help me out. But yeah, like I said, like people just got to understand, like, how to explain it. I don't know. Like, I'm just on God's walk. It's just odd for me. It's an odd position for me because you're taking like an actual warrior for God, the real thing, and a soldier for God. who does the real thing. And then you got people, like me, it's almost offensive because it's like people act like they don't know about me. Like, that's pretty crazy, man. I've done a lot, bro. I have to tell people, like, I do a lot, get a lot done. But I'm an actual soldier for God. So while everybody's running their mouth, I'm putting work in. You know what I mean? Like, every time people see me, there ain't nothing playing going around. It's going on. It's real talk. It's serious business when people see me. That's the thing. So that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm on that Styles P stuff where Styles P went in the interview and said, "Keep my name out your mouth." Right? Remember when he told them folks that in the studio? He said, "Keep my name out your mouth in funny style ways." He said, like, yeah, I could joke around and be funny, but I'm a serious dude. Right? That's me. Like, I'm serious as hell. I'm from the hood. You know what I mean? So that's my whole thing. Like, everybody has their own perception. People in the valley have their perception. Everybody's perception down here is jaded. Sorry, it doesn't exist. They look at folks like me like they're above me, and the truth is, sorry, but reality is it's completely the opposite. This is my country, right? And I happen to be above not only all of you, but everyone in this country. There's an actual pecking order, for sure above the cartel. I'll tell you that comfortably. They all scared of me. And that's the world you live in. It'll never change. It's not an opinion. This has been proven existentially. You understand? Proof is not on documented paper. Proof is the stripes you got in the street. Proof is what's happened. You understand? Proof is when a guy shuts down illegal organizations, you can't play about that. And, if people were wise, they wouldn't play about anything concerning that individual, right? Because clearly I don't play, right? Clearly, like, I'm a monster, like, for real. You understand? And that's the thing. Like, that's what people want to pretend. You understand? Like, bro, I got all power, bro. I don't waste my time with nonsense. You understand what I'm saying? That's what folks don't get. There's nothing funny about me or about what I do. Nothing funny about Batman. You understand? And folks know. Them little folks that be posting little fake memes and stuff, they know. And I don't mind it. Do your thing, bro. I don't care. Do what you do. Just keep it away from me. That's all. You know what I mean? Like, real talk. I'm not saying like regular people, like if you're my fan, that's all good. I'll laugh and joke with you. I'm talking about like, it just depends. Like, if I don't know you, don't assume I'm in a joking type of mood. I ain't that type of dude. I just tell you straight up. Said you really do look like Jesus, especially tonight. Thank you. Exactly. Because I come from the lineage of Jesus Christ. This is all real. It's all happening right in front of everybody's eyes. But like I said, that's my issue and my thing with the valley is the valley never wakes up. The valley continues to be on their valley stuff. It's like Brownsville. They play a lot of games. You understand? They don't know who I am, right? But they play a lot of games. Y'all do the same things when celebrities come down here, and it makes you look whack. That's what y'all don't get. And I'll tell any of you directly to you. It don't make you look good. It makes you look super whack. You understand? Just like when y'all talk behind people's back, y'all have your own jaded perception. Oh, like, yeah, but y'all from Brownsville, dog. I mean, need I say more? Y'all from the valley, bro. Stop that. Real talk. That's the whole thing. People going to talk and talk and talk. And then when I respond, y'all going to get in your feelings. You see my point? Everybody love to talk. But when I talk, people really get in their feelings quick. You feel me? Like, brother, the valley is a speck on the map. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm telling you the truth. That's all I was saying the other day about the so-called women here. They've always acted some way because y'all get raised wrong and you get raised to see things with a jaded perception. In Miami, if I went to Miami right now, and again, mind you, I'm in a relationship with somebody online, but it's going to be in reality, right? That's the first time I've ever done that to this degree. And I'm sticking with it. Like, I'm with Christina. But my point is, if I went to Miami right now, every so-called woman with a 5,000, 10,000 mile radius would be like, oh my gosh, he's so beautiful and handsome. Like, I couldn't even keep him away from me. Real talk. But when you come down here, it's a complete culture shock, they call it. When I come down here, my value goes to zero and to negative because of the way they were raised, because, well, it's common sense. I don't got to spell it out for you. So what do you call that? The same thing they try to role reverse on here that they tried to use against me for years, that all these people were, and we proved it. All them illegal organizations tried to use a name to label me, but it's what they were, and we proved it. So now they can't run their mouth no more. Same thing with here. Bro, this is the most unfair place on the planet. This is the most backwards place on the planet. That's why I say what I say. I could care less who feel what way about it. It's the truth. I come from the real world and the rest of the world. I don't come from, right? I come from the whole country and the world. I don't come from, oh, we put up with stuff. We don't put up with nothing down here. I tell these folks what to do, and it's that simple. And that's the way it'll always be and always has been. Sorry. But that's all I'm saying. Folks want to talk until they realize who they talking to. I run everything here. I run you home. Real talk. I ain't fake at all. So, like I said, that's my whole point. You know what I mean? Like, me, I can sense energies. You know what I mean? That's why when I be talking to people, especially so-called women down here in Brownsville or the Valley, I be laughing. At y'all because y'all got a real jaded perception, and I know what your issue is, and it's all stuff that don't exist. It's all in your mind. It's delusion. Y'all be thinking you above people. You're not above me. Trust me. I mean, it don't get no higher than me. Okay, it's for real. And I'm talking about in the whole world. So, like I said, I'm just saying the truth. If the so-called women in Brownsville and the Valley were to ever wake up to reality and how the world works, and were educated and weren't devoid of knowledge, they'd all be pursuing me and chasing me like nobody's business. And for a long time, they did. And then I don't know what happened, and I could care less. But I'm just saying, if you're going to speak, I'm going to speak my mind and tell you reality, because that's the truth. I'm the best looking dude down here. I mean, that's hands down. That's comfortably. The problem is now you got social media, so you got all the so-called women. They brainwashed and they self-absorbed, right? So they've been trained to believe the world revolves around them when it doesn't, right? And they're all nobodies, and they sit on social media all day long. Tell me when I'm wrong. Tell me when I'm lying, folks. Anybody welcome to interject with an opinion. They sit on social media all day taking selfies and thinking every guy wants me. I'm so desirable. And there's a big difference between guys and men, just like there's a big difference between lions and men. And I happen to be a lion. That's why I have a mane. That's right. You see my mane? Real talk. You can see it in my eyes. I don't look like a tiger. Come on, get out of here. But I'm a big old bat. Real talk. But I'm being for real. Like, that's what I'm saying. We not the same, bro. Talk about dudes. Yeah. Y'all keep it to your own down here. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's all good. Places are allowed to do that. If people want to do that, be my guest. I don't care. That's your choice. I'm just saying, y'all the ones who have missed out, right? Real talk. It's like ice cream. Y'all only like chocolate ice cream. You never tried the vanilla. And what do they call it? Once you go white, you see the light. That's right. That's all I'm saying. But it's all good. Let people do what they do. Let them make their horrible decisions that they want. I mean, and now if I take that further, all right, I drank too much soda. I hope I make it back. Oh, I can feel it. Oh, it sucks. It hurts. Oh, I don't know if I should. This is rich people problems. I don't know if I should turn the bend and go turn the corner or turn right around. I've been having that where I drink too much liquid. You know, it crawls up on you. All right, let's see. Golly. Again, I asked you a question, so you don't get to just ask me questions when I don't know who you are. I was asking you, do you work there? Golly, bro. How many times I gotta ask you to stop? Like, that's the thing, like, it's just common sense. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, that's my whole thing. Like, I gotta know who I'm talking to answer any questions, and I don't answer y'all's questions, you answer mine. But yeah, like I said, that's my whole thing. I'm just telling you the truth, bro. The valley is a small place, man. That's the valley, bro. I don't care what happens down here. I don't care about none of it. Care less what people do, care less what people say. I don't care. Because y'all don't get, I've been holding back a lot down here, a lot. I ain't even let y'all know who I really am. I haven't shown you nothing. This is light. I'm a live wire from Austin, Texas, bro. I've been real calm and real patient. Okay? Man, trust me, in my past, I used to be a monster down here. And that's why, because all it would take is me getting angry. And then everything would change. Everything. The minute I got angry, there's so much stuff would happen. It was unbelievable. Like, for real. Like, crazy stuff. That's why I'm telling folks, like, the last thing anybody want is me upset. Nope, I ain't talking. I'm talking facts. You know what I mean? So that's my point. It'll always be that way. I'll always be the stronger one. Me, I'm the aggressive man on the line. There's nothing you can do about it. Feel me? I don't know what else to tell you. Why that's confusing, I don't even know. It shouldn't be confusing. Thank you. You are the boss. He's definitely the boss. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's all I'm saying, man. Like, folks be on some pretendo stuff. You know, I made a promise. I keep my promises. I said I'm gonna carry the valley on my back, and I'm gonna do exactly that. You know, these folks haven't been too nice to me. I've tried my best to be nice to everyone. I'm gonna still be nice, no matter what. I'm gonna do the right thing. You're talking, and that's saying a lot because I've been through a lot down here, a lot. You know, so for me to be nice, that's true strength. That's what people don't get. It's easy to lose it and come undone and, get upset and, and try to act like you're tough. It's another thing, real strength, when you can let things go. Yeah, you can ask me a question, just not with that name. Bye. Oh, you funny. They're so funny. Because they just try over and over again and it's never gonna work, bro. Never. Like, just like I could tell you troll when you asking me questions, you won't answer mine. Like, I just asked you a question. There you go with that selective hearing stuff. Oh, I didn't hear you. Oh, I didn't hear you, Tyree. Sorry, what did you say? What was that? You heard me perfectly. But yeah, like I said, that's my whole thing. Like, I don't care how the valley see me because I know they all have a jaded perception. Maybe people in the valley should wake up to that and pay attention to that. Like, none of you are awoken to reality. There's very few. And the ones who are, it's far and few. You know what I mean? Or they moved here and they're not from here. But it's a very sheltered place, man. You know what I mean? It's the truth. They have a lot of growing to do. Sorry, I'll tell you the truth. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. You never held back on your opinion of me. So why would I not say how I feel? Thank you. I appreciate it. So other than that, my whole deal is there's a lot of good people down here. I love the valley, man. You know, I'm just saying the truth, talking about some folks, not everybody, but it's pretty prevalent, but yeah, like my whole thing is these league organizations, all these people, all this stuff going on. He said it himself, the guy whose name starts with a G. You don't know who I'm talking about, Trina? Say, you sure are zesty tonight. Listen, brother, I love Taco Hell, so I'm zesty every day. Matter of fact, Zesty is my middle name. You didn't know that? Tyree Zesty Steen. I stay zesty. Zesty. I keep it zesty. Make sure when you talk to me, make sure you bring the salsa and the chips and dip because I'm zesty all the time. You know what's zesty? Coming over here and typing on a fake account every 5 seconds. You're not from the valley? Good. That's quite an accomplishment, Yummy Gummy. I'm proud of you. Oh, that was a good one, Yummy Gummy. You are funny. Yummy Gummy. I like that one. You just earned some bonus points with the white man today. That was good. That was a good one. I like that. But yeah, I mean, I love the valley. I just have a little bit of an aversion to it. I mean, look at me. How could I not? We don't get treated the same at all. It's not even close. Every time I come down here, I start to feel like 50 Cent, literally. All right, let's see here. Uh, where are you from, Yummy Gummy? That's such a wonderful name. Yummy Gummy. Yummy Gummy. Yummy Gummy. Yummy Gummies. Yummy Gummy. Sorry, folks, I'm feeling zesty tonight, they say. Zesty. If I feel zesty, let me feel zesty. You don't worry about it. All right? It's not your business. But yeah, like I said, these folks are funny as hell. Like I said, these groups are in New York, and I am the man, 100% shutting them all down already. You understand? But we're going to go back to New York. Like I said, man, I told you I was running dudes off corners in New York, man. It ain't nothing. I was all through there, all through New York City, Albany. I used to pull up in my truck and then boys would run. Folks was scared of me in New York, everywhere for real. I don't know what it is about my energy, but folks like always like they just terrified of you, boy. Terrified of the Batman. Thank you, Trina. I appreciate it. But yeah, like I said, we are going to continue on our conquest of taking our country back. That's right. And everybody can come here and be a part of what I'm doing because when I look in the mirror tells me, I say, who's the fairest of it all? And it says, surely not El Frost Vivo. For real, I said it. Still watching, huh? Still can't have a rap career. And you're in New York, right? And I have the notion that you're probably a part of those illegal organizations because you are a part of the Red Triangles and they already are an illegal organization. So if one illegal organization exists, then it must have been a derivative and it might have, broken off of another illegal organization. What's the name, Trina? The name with a G? You can go ahead and say it in the chat. Do you work for that man? Is that what this is about? Do you? I mean, when did they teach you all them leverage tactics? When did they teach you how to talk backwards? Oh, I'm sorry, you weren't taught that. You're just crazy. I told you. How's that for zesty? Say something to me. Boy, she sure loved to run her mouth. Real talk. It's like a walking teleprompter. Ridiculous. No, not Groovy Jimmy. Oh, that's hilarious. She just said Groovy Jimmy. No, I'm talking about like the Don Dada of all illegal groups back in the day. He was like a leader of a whole country, not Groovy Jimmy. Imagine if Groovy Jimmy had power like that. I mean, God help us. Can you imagine? That would suck. No, not Groovy Jimmy. Hell no. Oh, that's funny as hell. No, but it's okay. I don't want to say it, but I'm trying to think of something. There's a rapper that uses the name or something. Or they say it in tracks. He was a big leader of all that stuff, and they questioned him. And they asked him, and he said that he didn't think the dude did anything wrong concerning what happened in New York, which is obviously probably a lie. But the point is, he was saying they got trained in New York. Okay, you know what I'm talking about, right? The big event that happened in New York, without saying. That's who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people attached to that, the names around that. Like the biggest event we've ever had in history that created all that fear. And you saw the devil in the clouds because it came from Satan himself. Yeah. No, you're good. I'm just explaining it to you. But yeah, these groups like that, all this evil and stuff comes from New York. That's all I'm saying. So we have to go to New York. I mean, it's guaranteed. I got to work in New York. I'm going to work in New Orleans too, possibly. But if we're going to live in New Orleans, I don't know how much I'm going to want to work in New Orleans. I don't really want to, you know what, where I eat. You feel me? Again, we're not El Frost Vivo. We don't do that. So again, um, sorry, folks. El Frost Vivo's in love with me. She won't, she just never stops paying attention to me. Thinks about me 24 hours a day. Her and some other, I don't know, odd chick that named herself after a four-leaf clover. It's ridiculous. What kind of name is that? And then repeats her name. Imagine if I came around you, Tyree, 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 Tyree. Like they must just like when I'm like in this mode, when I'm like, what? That's what it's about. Like, well, then you would have liked my father because my father was always like that. I'm pretty much a spinning image of him. My dad was a good looking dude. My dad showed up. I'm gonna keep it real. My dad showed up at my school when I was younger, and all the chicks that I was like that, at the time I was looking at, they all looked at him. They were like, "Who's that?" I was like, "That's my dad." They were like, "Oh, he fine as hell." Like real talk. I was like, "What the hell?" Like, that's the problem with so-called women. The problem with so-called women, they always want what they can't have. It ain't about like like I'm a good-looking dude and I'm right in front of you, but you gonna worry about my dad? Like that's crazy to me. Like really, but that's what women do. You see them do it all the time. Them so-called women be catching cases right and left too, because they can't just deal with men. Have you noticed that? It's like prevalent. Like it's becoming like I don't know. It's like all the time now. Y'all ever notice that? All them cases that keep popping up. You notice that, Trina? I think I'm gonna have to get off of here because I drank too much soda. Batman, is human in that regard. That's right. Uh, I'm gonna try to keep walking a little bit for y'all. I'm gonna try just for a little bit because I'm feeling zesty tonight. Zesty. But yeah, like I said, we all know the truth, right? Just like we all know the truth about El Frost Vivo. That's right. We all know. We know. But yes, we all know the truth. These groups are up in New York. So yes, I will be having to go work in New York and go to work on these blocks. Same with Chicago, Chi-Town, right? Where they were all ducking me all the time because I was right there in Green Bay. Called out all these YouTubers. We ain't worried about YouTubers. We worried about the big dogs. Feel me? Worried about the big pups, big dogs. And they ain't even big dogs. They ain't even big fish. Yeah, I got to turn around. I can't do this much longer. All right. Tried. I was zesty. Well, yeah, like I said, we making money, making money. We need donations. We need super chats every time I go live, boy. Maybe we'll do a live stream again here in a little. Do you think y'all would be able to come back for that? Maybe we can do one. Just give me a little bit of time to, chill out. And, every time El Frost Vivo comments to me and talks to me behind a fake account, it makes me feel yeah, like there's something kind of about somebody who doesn't know how to play baseball. There's no crying in baseball, boy. Zesty. You're the definition of zesty. You should do the Doritos commercial for zesty. Real talk, you stay zesty. That's all you do is sit there and be zesty and type your comments to me. You never go outside, zesty. All of them are infatuated and they admire me because I'm beautiful and gorgeous and everybody wants me. That's the truth. That's what I've come to realize is that everybody's just super attracted to me because I'm gorgeous and I'm super hot and fine as hell. And that's all that this is about. They all want me. That's what it is. Telling you. It's the truth. It's the truth because half of her friends were ex-girlfriends anyway, so that's all it's about. They just can't get over me. I done told you. I told you. Every chick that I have a relationship with can't seem to move on afterwards. You understand? And we all know why, because I'm stacked. That's right. That's right. That's why, because they all go crazy afterwards. All of them, real talk. Like, ridiculous. It's like that 50 Cent song, but we'll use another word in replace of that word, like, I got the magic dip. I know if I can dip once, I can dip twice. I'll show you magic. That's me. Remember, I'm zesty. Yummy Gummy said, who is that? Trust me, nobody knows who this is, Yummy Gummy, so don't worry about it. They don't exist. It's just a lot of people that basically, never stop paying attention to me. Where are you from, Yummy Gummy? I don't know. I'm not going to be on here much longer, but if you can let me know. But yeah, like I said, we're going to be in New York. We'll have to go to Chicago. We got to go to all the meccas, man, where all this elite stuff is. But what y'all don't understand, there was a thing that happened back in the day, and it was in Antarctica. And the people that were exploring Antarctica came across some reptilians, they say and think. And they said the reptilians were using mind control. Everything I talk about connects. It's just you got to be a genius and pretty smart to catch up and listen to what I'm saying. What I'm trying to explain to y'all in layman's terms for all of you regular human beings to comprehend and understand, okay? And I'm not cocky or conceited or arrogant. I'm just being honest. I'm a genius and I think on another level. And what I'm saying, it all connects to what I'm saying. Okay. I'm a genius. So when I talk, all the ideas and concepts I talk, they sound random, but they all come together and connect. But you got to be smart enough to connect the dots. You see, you got to be smart enough to put the puzzle together. So, what was the topic of this show? That I'm raising the vibration of the planet, right? Because the Pleiadians have told us that there's someone or some force or something, people, whatever, aliens, whatever, that has this force field around our planet to contain our consciousness. So they don't want us to break free from it, which is all about what I represent and what I'm doing in front of everyone. Okay. I have like 266 world records. I did 132 full extension pull-ups the other day. That's not normal. Okay. I'm an awoken being. I'm a divine being, and I came to lead the masses, and I am your real Messiah. Whether folks feel some way about that or not is irrelevant to the equation of the facts because the facts will speak for themselves. That's why I don't have to be a part of election. Would Jesus Christ run for president? Is he going to run for an election, or is he just going to be the king of all kings? That's why people talk about money. Money is irrelevant to me. Jesus Christ was a carpenter's son. That's what they were saying about him. They said, oh, he's just, yes, I wear a bulletproof vest almost all the time, or I wear pure steel armor suit, because I'm the real Batman. But that's what they were saying about Jesus Christ. They said he's a carpenter's son. In other words, like, he's poor. What can he do? What is he capable of? And look what Jesus Christ accomplished and did. And everything he did was for all of us and our sins. So I mean, Jesus Christ is my brother, baby. Real talk. You know what I mean? So I mean, you got to give him credit. Hmm. So yeah, the Messiah is just going to be the king of all kings like I am and run the streets and take everything over. That's the part that they don't tell you about Jesus Christ. Well, Mr. Markley in the college down here taught me. He taught me that Jesus Christ was a you know what. In other words, a super ninja that gets busy. Now, what does Tyrese need? A super ninja that gets busy. When God sends a Messiah, that Messiah has to have no fear, has to get rid of fear and become fear, right? But that's what he says, right? If you want to instill, I got to do the Ra's al Ghul voice. Let me try my best. If you want to instill fear in others, right, you got to become fear itself. You know what I mean? Like, real talk. I can't do the Ra's al Ghul voice, at least not on command, right? But what do you lock yourself in here just so you can blah 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 with prisoners all day? You know what I mean? Like, Ra's al Ghul is funny as hell. But my whole point is, this is all part of the same conundrum, same concept of waking people up, waking folks up, raising the vibration of the planet. And I want to break free from that force field. That's the whole point, because I already know, because I'm already doing it, that you can access other dimensions. See, I don't do this just in this dimension. I'm doing this interdimensionally. That means when I go to sleep, I'm in other dimensions putting in work, doing the same thing I do in this dimension. That's what y'all don't get. I'm not just the king here, I'm the king in other dimensions. So when y'all come to realize that and realize the world and how things actually work around you, then you'll be able to understand me more. But until then, it's going to take y'all a lot of time, because it takes people years, decades to learn this stuff, much less embrace it, because most people don't want to. And the reason why y'all don't want to embrace the truth and reality is because you're scared. All of you who have an aversion to anything I say, or you want to disagree when you know you've been proven wrong, right? Because I ain't never lost a debate. I've proven everything factually, always. What you need to do is take a long, hard look in the mirror and figure out what the hell you're afraid of. That's what y'all need to do. And that might answer a lot of your questions. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, if folks gonna do what they do, and that's about it. You know what I mean? So I mean, I could care less. Here, give me a minute. Let me see if I could do this so we can keep going. Hold on. Give me a second. All right, I'm back for a minute. All right. So yeah, as I was saying, it all has to do with the vibrational frequency of Earth and the planet, right? And that's what I'm here to do, raise the vibrational frequency. And if enough human beings do that, it like triggers some other event, something like that. Appreciate it, Trina. Um, Here, hold on real quick. Yeah, appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, long story short, it's all connected, everything I'm talking about. So they went to Antarctica, they came across some reptilians. Y'all got to research this stuff. Some crazy stuff went down and happened, and the reptilians were actually using mind control. So they said that they knew, what was going on a little bit, but that the reptilians were, literally using mind control. Okay. And I believe it. I think it makes perfect sense. And I think those reptilians are 100% either who's responsible or connected to, the aliens or whatever that are responsible for all of this stuff, for everything. So, you folks don't get. I'm trying to figure out what the deal is with Antarctica because they don't want you to fly there. They don't. I don't know if you can travel there or not, but I want to look into that and figure out if you can because I literally would like to explore it and go there myself. Real talk. And the purpose would be pretty clear to go, see the reptilians straight up. But see, that's why Batman would be made and created. Batman, I mean, who was the villain in Batman? Croc. Croc was a crocodile, a reptilian that lived in the sewer. So if you can't figure out what's going on here and piece the puzzle together, then I give up because it's obvious. It's happening right in front of your eyes. That's what I tell people. I don't train for just what y'all think I train for. I train, for the real thing. You understand? I believe there's real mutants and stuff, like real talk. And I think anybody who doubts that, I think you're silly as hell. I think that you're naive and I think you don't understand the planet and how it works straight up. There's definitely, other life forms here and different, beings walking amongst us every day. They've talked about that forever. I mean, they've said that 8 million times. Some of these celebrities could be part of it, you know, and they said that they were doing like pulling like a vanishing act. So they'd be in front of you 1 minute and then they'd be disappearing. And that makes a lot of sense to me because that's what like an interdimensional type being could do. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like that's like a UFO. That's like some ET other life form stuff. So that is even trippier because are you saying reptilians can do that now? Because I thought that was just the grays. It just makes you think a lot. I mean, you got to wake up and think, brother. I mean, how are we going to have games like put yourself in this perspective? What if it was really reptilians that did all this? And they thought they had us contained and then one of us like me woke up and Batman woke up and came up against them and had the uprising and defeated the reptilians and took back the planet. That's what I think is part of my purpose, literally. So, think what you want, but it's reality. Call me crazy if you want. It's reality. It makes a lot of sense to me. I know for a fact reptilians exist. I know for a fact I've been defeating them, and it's that simple. So, I mean, that's the point. It's all about figuring out who's who and where they at and what's going on. That's why they don't want people going to Antarctica, obviously, right? I mean, like I said, they keep talking about this ice wall over there, and they say that there's land masses over the ice wall. They're saying there's beings over there over the ice wall that pretty much like don't sleep, okay, and they're nocturnal and they're way quicker and stronger than us because they're developed like animals. They've developed and evolved. Okay. So you'd have to have a Batman go over there who's stronger than anyone and strong enough to overcome, the mind control tactics that the reptilians are using. And I'm not saying I am, but I'm saying if anyone could be and could get to that point, I believe it would have to be me. Yes, because what I've been through is absolute hell and I've survived the impossible. And that's the only way a being gets created and sculpted by God to be able to come up against stuff like that and withstand it. It's that simple. You know what I mean? Regular folks, that's why I always, the way that I measure men is not by, how much weight you lift or how big you look. I measure men by, I could tell just by your soul in 2 seconds. You understand? I can see what's within you. It's what's within you. It's not all what you look like on the outside. That's what a lot of people get. You understand? Oh, there. Oh, there it is. There's some more El Frost Vivo inner feelings. I told you. Oh goodness. Still don't have a rap career, huh? Hmm. Ah! Oh, for real! Yeah, you weren't expecting that today, were you? When you use the same game for like 20 years, at some point Batman's gonna figure it out because it's super whack. Oh my goodness. They have these things, right? They're called job applications. You should really take a look at those. Oh, for real. But yeah, yeah, and they would be upset because they probably reptilians, so they probably in their feelings because they don't want me to come up against the reptilians and defeat them because they know I can. So I'm for real. I'm trying to train to get ready to go on like superhuman missions and do crazy stuff, and y'all want to act like this again. So, enjoy doing your memes and your little videos and whatever nonsense. Enjoy it. I mean, I don't care. Make the most of it. Utilize it because at some point, I mean, I'm going to just continue to move forward and evolve and grow. You know what I mean? That's the point. So, like I said, I'm going to continue to carry the valley on my back. And it's that simple. Yummy Gummy, I was asking you again, if like, do you work there where you were talking about, or who are you? I don't know who you are. So I can't tell. Because it could be anyone. It could be a troll. I have no idea. No idea at all. But yeah. Um, but yeah. Do, 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 do. These folks is in their feelings while I'm getting paid. Pizzy. You're in your feelings, in your feelings today. In your feelings, 'cause Batman is winning again. In your feels. I've told you what it is, man. It's hilarious, bro. They just cannot help themselves. But it's okay, Tyrese Sneed has that effect on many people, especially women. So it is what it is. So, like I said, we continue to run the world. We continue to capitalize and make money and moolah. And you folks continue to not donate. That's right. You all continue to act as if you don't have a job and go to your 9 to 5 every day, but you do. And what you need to do is you need to donate. Because you have your little career and this is my career. And it's that simple. But yeah, like I said, so that's what I'm going to be training and getting ready for. And yeah, I don't know. Just that simple. But like I said, everything I'm talking about is a fact and it's what's relevant and it's what matters. Anything else, I mean, is a bunch of nonsense. It's a waste of your time. You know what I mean? Anyway, on that note, I'm gonna hop off of here for now. I appreciate you, Trina. I appreciate you, Yummy Gummy. Yummy Gummy. Jiggly Pop. Jiggly Pop. And I appreciate you, Susie Q. That's right. Susie Q. All right. we'll talk soon. And yeah, if I do another live in a minute, maybe y'all can come to that. We'll see how I feel and we'll go from there. All right. I appreciate it. And oh, and we're over. Wait, let me check real quick. Hold on. Let's see. We are over, I repeat, we are over $135 for that next check. You know that the El Frost Vivo is mad again. The penguin is upset. He's in his feelings because we're making that money now, and they're not making a dime. You know how much they're making right now? Zero. That's what the hell they're making. Nobody. Well, like I said, we shall continue to run the world. We will continue to make our money over here and do what we do. And it's about that simple. But yeah, like I said, people can do what they do. It's all carrying. My business carries by word of mouth. Word is carrying, word is out. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's really coming together and it's all God. You know what I mean? It's all God. Real talk. It's God at work. So, like I said, we're gonna keep pushing forward, and that's about it. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, man. It's crazy being in this position. Got a lot of power, man. Like real talk. It's like I get more powerful every day in every way. It's crazy, man. Like I really took this over. Real talk. So, like I said, I'm gonna keep try my best to keep showing up for y'all. Um, and that's about it. All right. So, yeah, we'll talk soon. I appreciate y'all. Much love, and we'll be back. All right.